Welcome back into this week's Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. We're here with Brooke Moore. Brooke, a freshman on the Lady Flames basketball team.
Yep.
And when you look at the stats, that's the first thing when I'm going to interview somebody who's freshman or transfer, points are great, rebounds are great, three-point percentage is great, all those things are great. But the first thing I look at is how many minutes you're playing, because that kind of shows how much the coaching staff trust you as a freshman. And that's the first thing you've got to do, is you've got to win over the trust of your teammates and the coaches when you come in new. And you're playing about 14 minutes a game, so that's pretty solid coming in your freshman year. Have you felt like that has been a kind of an ongoing process of building that trust?
Yeah, 100%. I think because as freshmen, like all over the country, it's really known that when you're a freshman, you don't really get many minutes. But I'm really blessed to be in a position, just to earn that respect, earn that trust within my coaches and my players, so I can stay on the court as long as I can and just do what I need to do. But it's been tough trying to earn that trust and respect, but I like the process, so it's going well.
Basketball's changed so much, too, that, there obviously are still true freshmen, but there's so much made of the transfer portal, and players are moving around like crazy. Now, the Lady Flames have been pretty good. There's not a ton of – JB's the only transfer on the team, and she's kind of – I hope this doesn't sound like I'm saying anything negative about JB, but she's old enough that she was kind of in the old system of transferring where she had to actually sit out a year. Now it's kind of a free-for-all. People can move around. Some girls and guys they're on their third school and maybe even trying to go to a fourth school or something crazy.
Exactly.
It as a true freshman coming in, and you with some teams, you really could be set off to the side because there's 5 new transfers that have come in that played D1 somewhere else, and they're now into the system as well, and the coaches may be focusing more on, we got to get these transfers in place. But with the Liberty women's basketball system, it's probably a little different. Do you have any friends or fellow high school teammates that are maybe dealing with some of that same type of thing in other places?
Yeah, 100%. I don't want to spoil about the name, but one of my friends, she plays in another conference, and she's a freshman. Well, she's a sophomore this year, but she was a freshman last year, and she didn't really get any playing time at all. That was because they had 4 or 5 different transfers onto the team, and so I can get that from a coach's perspective, wanting to have more experienced players on the court. But I think it's just take it how you will. I feel here I like how they take the high school players and they try to develop us, because they're really big on developing players and everything, and it just shows how much trust they have and belief in us. So I think that's really cool.
Now here's a little bit of inside baseball is an old term. You probably never heard it, but it's kind of behind the scenes. We did not talk before we went on the air about that, and so that was very lucky that I was just kind of hoping that maybe you had an example, and sure enough, you had the perfect example for what we were trying to get at there. So, so that was very poor interviewing skills on my part, but I got very lucky that you did have a situation where you had a teammate that went through exactly what we're talking about. But it's almost to the point now where I feel like if you've got enough friends, and you guys, I know you guys always have either players that you played against in high school that maybe you've kind of become friends with, or following their career, see where they go off to play college, or teammates in high school that end up playing college ball as well. That there's there's an example for everything, just probably inside your little sphere of influence. So anything that you can talk about, you can probably go, oh, well, yeah, there's a girl, she was on our rival, but yeah, she's playing at so-and-so now. Do you kind of keep up with not only your teammates from high school, but maybe the girls you played against?
Yeah, 100%. Even though we're competitors, I feel we can still build a connection. So yeah, there's so many local competition that I played against throughout middle school all the way to high school that I still follow and keep in touch with. But yeah, I think it's just good just to have those connections. You don't always have to be enemies on the court. You can be friends off the court too. So yeah, I have a lot of people that I've tried to keep in contact with for sure, especially from high school. 100%.
You ever shoot a text or make a phone call and go, hey, I'm dealing with this my first year, How did you handle it, especially in the instance of the one girl you were talking about that's a sophomore? She's already gone through everything you've gone through.
Right, yeah. I actually texted her before I got here, I think during the summer before I got here. And she was like, Brooke, just got to keep playing, like, play true to yourself, be confident. She just gave me, like, all these little tips that she learned, like, throughout her freshman experience just to make mine better. So I feel like that's really important, to have another person that's going through exactly what you're going through, just to help guide you a little bit, because it can be overwhelming at times for sure.
How much, because social media kind of keeps everybody connected, and you see how other people are doing, especially if they player of the week, my buddy got player of the week, or my friend all freshman team, or those types of things. But you're seeing all the highlights. You're not necessarily seeing the struggles, because nobody really posts the struggles of, I'm 3 weeks into practice and I can't figure out what the coach wants me to do on defense.
Yeah.
Nobody's posting that. So those are more about conversations and relationships, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just like I said, I feel like the biggest thing is just having strong connections and just talking to one another, because everybody's going, like, all the freshmen, we're all going through the same thing, whether we say it or we talk about it or not. So I feel like it's just having that open communication with each other just to push us through. So
speaking of social media, your Instagram, if you want to give the whole thing out, you can give the whole thing out. If you don't, but it says Brookie.
Yeah.
And I wish so bad that was your actual name. That is such a cool name now. Of course, I'm a sweets person, so when I think of Brookie, I think of you put a scoop of ice cream on top of that, and you're set for the night. But that's such a cool. Is that a nickname that you picked up?
Yeah, I've been called Brookie since I was born, I think. Yeah, so it's just been like a nickname. All my friends call me everything. So I was just like one day, let me just make this my Instagram account, because everybody already knows me by this anyway. So.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I like that one. Anytime that you've got a nickname that's also a confection, like, it's like a dessert as well. Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty. So with guys, sometimes if you ask a guy, okay, when you get older, you get married, and you have kids, and you have a son, what do you want to name it? And I would say 50% of guys are going to say, I want a junior. I'm going to have James Jr. or Kerry Jr., those types of things.
Yeah.
Females, you don't think of that. But you could kind of get away with it, because if you had a daughter and you named her Brookie, and I'm Brooke, she's Brookie. Right. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be clever. I might think about that. I might tuck that in my little pocket real quick. Yeah.
Oh.
But...
And if that happens, 10 years from now, 20, whatever it is, just shoot me a message and go, I remember that conversation we had, and now here's a nice picture of my newborn Brookie, whatever. But now I'm hungry. We always have these interviews during a time of day when I tend to have not eaten yet, and so we're talking about food. So let's continue that trend.
Yeah, let's keep going.
When you are on the road and you have to fill out, and that's probably something new from high school. You're filling out these pre-orders.
Right.
Sometimes it feels like a month ahead of time. What's your go-to when Sarah sends out the order?
My go-to.
You going to a steakhouse, going to a Mexican place, going to a barbecue joint. Like what's some of the go-tos?
Okay, so I have two. I have like one section where like one type of food that I just love to eat that might not be as good for me, and that's probably like barbecue, like probably like a good brisket sandwich with mac and cheese and baked beans. That's so good. Oh
Buc-ee's?
Okay. Oh yeah, their brisket sandwiches are good. I forgot about Buc-ee's.
Did you get one when we were there?
I didn't get one. I don't know why.
Well, I think you should have another chance, because we're going to be in Texas a couple more times, and there's Buc-ee's all around Texas, so you're going to get another shot at it. But their brisket sandwiches are so good, really good.
Yeah, they're like juicy and like perfect. Anyway, but then the second one for like carbs and everything, I'll probably go with like fettuccine, like chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like my go-to.
What about in Lynchburg? You've been here now long enough. Have you picked up any go-to spots?
Yeah, I love Shakers.
Okay.
It's the one right next to River Ridge Mall.
Yeah.
That one like in a little plaza. I usually get, I can tell you my order right now.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, I'm probably going to have it tonight, but I usually get chicken tenders, mac and cheese, and sweet potato. And then for dessert, I usually get like a strawberry cheesecake.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so-
Do you get the honey mustard with the chicken tenders?
I do.
They've got the best. It's homemade. They
It
make
is?
it there. Homemade honey mustard, and they
Wow.
use Vidalia onions. There's like little bits of Vidalia onion. So if you
Oh.
ever notice that the honey mustard is like not overly chunky, but like there's a little bit like little bits inside of it.
Yeah.
It's little Vidalia onions.
Wow. Yeah, I'll be doing it up over there.
Yeah, yeah. That's Shaker's. Shaker's one of my spots too. So that's
Right.
they used to have. I don't know if they still have. I don't think they do. They used to have a red velvet cake
Ooh, I love red
that
velvet.
was outstanding. I feel like it, as popular as red velvet was for a while, it's hard to find a place that really makes it good.
Right.
As far as out a restaurant, those types of places. There's a restaurant, and I'm going way off the tracks here. But if you're ever in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Okay.
you ever go through there? Or?
I haven't been through there in a while.
Okay. Well, next year the Lady Flames will be playing Tennessee
Oh,
at
wow.
Tennessee, so maybe
Okay.
this will be a chance. You talk to Sarah, our coach, and say we need to go to Ye Old Steakhouse.
Ye Old Steakhouse.
It's like a historic type place. It's a family run type deal. It was on Man versus Food. I don't know if you watch the Food Network, but where they do those like challenges and stuff. I don't think they did a challenge there, but I think there was some entree that they went and ate there. Anyway, they have a red velvet cheesecake that comes to your table and it's warm. I don't know
Ooh, that's
how
the
they
best.
make it. Like I don't know if they just keep it under a heat light or I don't know how they do it, but it gets there, it's warm, and then they put a scoop of ice cream on top of it, and it is the best red velvet I think I've ever had in my life. As
sounds
I
so good.
continue to make myself hungrier and hungrier
too.
as this conversation goes along.
Right.
Well, okay. Let's burn some calories now and talk about something. There's an aspect of your game that caught my attention the first time I saw you playing, and that was how high off the ground you get when you're going after rebounds. I mean, shots, sure, layups, yeah, but rebounds is where you really notice it because, and I forget. What are you listed as height-wise?
I'm listed as 5'11".
5'11". Is that
Yeah.
pretty fair?
I think I might be 6 foot. With shoes
Okay.
on, I think I'm 6 foot.
So you think like usually it's the other way around. Usually whatever you're listed as just a little bit cheating, you know? It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm listed at 6'3", I'm really 6'2" and a
Right.
half, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you think you're probably 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
Well,
with shoes on for sure.
there's times when your hands are up there where Bella's at, or you're talking about the opposition, Tennessee. Of course, everybody on Tennessee was pretty tall. You know, you're getting up there and you go, she's above some girls that are 3 or 4 inches taller than her. How high is your vertical?
I don't actually know. People always ask me, but I think I need to get it measured. But the funny thing is, like, I don't even feel like I'm jumping that high when I'm in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh my gosh, did you see that? I'm like, no, I was just going to get the ball. I didn't realize like I was that high in the air. But yeah, I don't know.
Have you always been athletic?
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up playing like so many sports, like soccer, like track. I love track so much. Tennis, lacrosse, like all of that. So yeah, that's just kind of like helped me.
Well, I could see you being an outside hitter in volleyball. Did you ever play volleyball?
I played volleyball. I was a setter though in volleyball. Yeah.
I think they wasted your talents.
Yeah, but I played that in middle school, so I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't used to my body in middle school, like jumping wise. So I would just set it up and just watch them hit it.
Well, that takes great. I mean, hand-eye coordination. You have to have amazing hand-eye coordination,
Yeah.
and you got to be pretty smart to kind of know which way to go and read the defenses and stuff like that. But yeah, I could see like if you finished up your 4 years of playing basketball and you go, you know what, I want to hang around for another year. Volleyball, that would be it. Yeah, I think you could do it.
Maybe.
I'm just picturing how high above the net that you could get. You're already tall. I mean, 6 feet tall is pretty tall for an outside hitter, or reasonably tall. There's some like 5'10", 5'11" is fairly normal. So you got an inch on everybody, and I think you'd have the leaping ability to pull that off too.
Yeah.
How high can you get? Have you ever got the rim? You know, how close have you been to dunking a basketball?
Yeah, so I was talking to Jordan Hodges the other day, and she was like, Brooke, how's your like dunk journey going on? Like, how's the progress? But yeah, I can reach up and grab the rim. So next year I think I'll be able to dunk, hopefully. No,
Okay.
I'm crossing my fingers, but hopefully I'll be able to dunk next year.
Can you get a tennis ball right now?
Yeah, I can.
Tennis
Yeah.
ball. So now I guess what the next thing would be a volleyball.
A volleyball, yeah.
Not quite to that.
I haven't tried that yet. I've only
Okay.
tried the tennis ball, but yeah, I'm gonna try the volleyball soon just to get used to like the dunking like aspect of it and everything. Because I feel like the more like you try to attempt to dunk, like the better you'll get at it.
Yeah.
And the better you can like use your body to get up in the air at like as high as like potential. But yeah, I'm excited for that. It's coming soon. Hopefully.
And some floor surfaces are better than others.
Yeah.
The old arena, or the old floor in the Vine Center was kind of springy, and I'm past my dunking ability by a few years now, but that was always the place where I could get the best hops was on. I don't know why. What was underneath it? What made it springy?
Yeah.
But I felt like I got like 2 extra inches of jump in there than anywhere else. So I don't know if Liberty Arena is that way, but you might, that's something to kind of check as you go around the country,
Right.
playing in different gyms. Can go, oh, this one's a little bit springier. Maybe this is the night. I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
But it's not as big of a deal in women's basketball anymore because you see it happen from time to time. But it's still a deal. Like
Yeah.
when somebody dunks the ball in the women's game, it's still a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people can say that. So you got 3 more years after
more
this
years,
one.
yeah.
And so by your senior year, is that something that's on the unofficial goals list?
Yeah, 100%. It's up there. It's official. It's official goal. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm just gonna keep like trying to work with Will and everything, get my jumping right, and hopefully you'll see something soon. So
Well, it's kind of like a goalie in hockey. A goalie in hockey wants to score a goal. And when the other team pulls their goalie and there's an empty net, there's that opportunity. He's just
Right.
got to be able to get enough on it to send it down ice. If it's a 1-goal game, that's risky because if he makes a mistake and doesn't get the puck, now the other team maybe knocks it down and they score. And so the goalie's usually only going to take that chance if they're up by 2, because then he knows even if I mess up, we still got a little bit of a cushion. So it's kind of probably that same thing.
Right,
if you're up
yeah.
by 15 points and it's the last 5 minutes of the game, you take the chance with the dunk. If it's a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go,
no.
probably not going to take that
yeah, I'm
same.
not trying. Coach Green will be really mad, so I'm not doing that. But yeah.
That's funny. Did you have brothers and sisters that played?
Yeah, I have 2 older brothers actually. Braxton, we're all B's, so Braxton, Brandon, and Brooke. Braxton, he graduated Georgia Tech. He's 27 right now.
Okay.
And then my other brother, Brandon, he graduated from the Naval Academy. He played football there, and so he is 22 right now.
So you have athleticism all through the family.
Yeah.
Did your parents play any?
My dad played like every sport in high school, but he didn't play anything in college. And then my mom, she was on the, I'm forgetting the name of like the Flag Girls.
Oh yeah,
In the band.
Yeah.
She was like captain of the band, so she always talks about that. But yeah, she didn't really play that many sports, but she's still pretty athletic though.